Alright. I'm going to take this here needle and stick it into you, and we're going to see if you're dangerous to our society or not.
I don't fear death.
Oh, no! Ah! He's a Divergent!
No factions! No factions!
I'm not sure what we're doing. I think we're supposed to be reviewing a movie, but I don't know if you can consider it a movie. Would you say that?
Well, I mean, in every sense of the word, it technically is a movie. But the
true.
quality of the movie. Welcome to Creative Avenue.
Welcome to Creative Avenue.
He's back in the States now, so now we're doing a couple. He's gonna leave eventually, but right now we're gonna do a few things while he's still here. So today we're gonna review the first Divergent movie out of the trilogy. I think they're coming out with the third one.
Part 1. Because Lionsgate.
Oh my gosh!
Because Lionsgate.
No!
I think it's part 1 at least.
It's gonna be part 1.
Yeah, because it's Lionsgate.
You gotta do that with every movie.
No, it's Lionsgate.
Oh, it's just Lionsgate does that?
Lionsgate does
Why?
that. I don't know.
Okay, Lionsgate is now ended. So it basically just starts off as a dystopian society. It's stated in about Chicago, I think, like dystopian society Chicago, and the society there has broken into how many factions? About 5? 5 factions?
I think 5. Yeah,
5 factions.
You have Candor, Erudite, Dauntless, Abercrombie.
Oh yeah.
And then there's
Amity.
the hippies. Yeah. Amity.
So they're basically just 5 groups of the society called factions, and they basically just played a certain role in society. Dauntless are like the warriors. Candor's the smart people. They're the nerds.
No, Candor's like the judicial branch.
No, yeah. It's the erudite. Erudite is the scholars. They're the smart ones. So they all have a part to play, and everyone at a certain age goes into the council and chooses which faction they want to be a part. Their home faction, where they were born, or a new one. And there's a secret branch of people called Divergent, and they don't belong to anything. They're a gap in the system, and the government doesn't like them.
Pretty much, yeah. And so the basic premise of this movie is that it's a Hunger Games without A, the games, and B, even half as interesting characters. Because everyone's so... I feel like everyone's like so shoehorned into this stereotypical thing, because you have the emo... The emo hot guy who's like, hey, I kind of like you, but my life sucks right now.
But later on, it'll get better.
Oh my god! That actually
No.
sums up the movie pretty darn well.
But essentially, but that's basically what sort of happens. You have this one girl. She has a mother who, spoiler alert, turns out to be a Divergent later on. So she had sort of inherited that Divergent
Gene.
Would
you say?
Gene and stuff. So basically, today is the reaping.
The reaping.
Essentially, it's the reaping. They choose which faction they go to, and then just join up and stuff. But she doesn't know what she does. She started to realize
she's a Divergent.
She's a Divergent because she goes into the
testing room.
The testing room.
Like
yes. They 5 tests.
What they do is like they test you on fear and stuff or something like that, and then like how you react in the test
to each faction there is
on how. It says like it's like, oh, you perform this way in the test, so you are recommended to go to this faction.
Yes.
But the thing is,
Divergents can do whatever they want.
Yeah, because they're like they fit into every faction, and so the thing that the book actually pointed out was that Triss figured out, what the heck am I doing here? This is just a dream.
She was conscious.
Why would I ever do it? She was conscious in it. She didn't act like the others, and that's what made her Divergent. However, in the movie, it did not touch on this. It just it said, "Oh, she's there, and she tested in for multiple different things." But that's like taking a personality test online. And they say, "Oh, hey, look, you're Bilbo Baggins, but you also filled, some requirements for Gandalf or Thorin or whatever." Like it doesn't seem to be a very proof way to do it, because people
it's a percentage chance.
Yeah, it's a percentage chance.
There's only 5 different scenarios that you could do. You could be fearless, which is Dauntless, which are the warriors. You could be smart, which is Candor, and you could get any of those. Every aspect of a person is in some way smart, fearless, whatever.
Right.
So it's So like what you were saying, it was like it's random chance that they happen to be Divergent.
Yeah, but then like there's what I think that they said was like you have percentages of all of them together. But like what you were saying, like how some people can have some aspects of fear. Well, some people can be more fearful than others. That doesn't make them necessarily an afraid person, because they could have more of one quality. It just means that they have that in their system. And so that's what the Divergent movie seemed to be saying. Is like, oh, you have this in your system, but it seems likely that like anybody could have that, because anybody could have done that scenario before and become a Divergent according to their standards, which just seemed weird to me. It seemed like a very faulty way to prove it. Anyway.
Yeah. But the point is, they go to the mock reaping, as it was, and they're supposed to basically cut themselves with the same knife and get blood diseases. Yeah, you're gonna get something. It's like you're just like, and then you're supposed to drip your own blood over over like a specific effigy of the specific faction. Like, and let's be honest, everyone would choose Dauntless. Like, Dauntless is like the coolest place. You get cake. In the book, you got chocolate cake. You got to use weapons. You got to learn martial arts and stuff like that. Honestly, no one's gonna choose any of these other places. Let's be honest. These are like 16-year-old kids.
Yeah.
They're not going to choose all these other better ways of life. They're just going to choose. They're going to choose to fight. Let's be honest.
Well, maybe like 90% would go to Dauntless, and like the other 10% would go to Erudite, and then the other ones should just die out. Because I personally think that like no self-respecting 16-year-old or who's lived in a more, how do I say this, like a richer
economy,
like a more first world kind of like
they're not going to work.
They wouldn't want to go to Amity. Like,
they wouldn't want to farm.
Well, I guess I'm going to be a hippie and farm.
Yeah,
just like Erudite seems to have more to offer, and Dauntless has more to offer than these other ones. So it seems,
at least to the young teenage mind.
Young teenage mind, yeah.
I mean, and that's probably why they put Triss in that situation, like where she would go to Dauntless. You're not going to have her go to Amity. There's nothing going to happen to Amity. She's going to take a pitchfork and she's just going to do some stuff. Honestly,
haul manure.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Haul, just like the movie.
Yeah.
just. Anyway, point is.
I see what you did.
So the point is, her mom basically doesn't care which faction she goes to. She's like, okay, you're my daughter. I love you anyway, which is cool. Now, her father is like the leading member. Like the government officials are usually from
the Abercrombie.
Abnegation.
Abnegation.
Because those guys are built more on like the compassionate side, like good values and stuff like that. They're more of the trustworthy. They're more like the religious types, I guess.
They're kind of like priests in church, I guess.
Yeah, they're like the good guys. They won't lie unless of course they're just one of those bad batch kids, going off with the drugs. Get out of here. No, but the point is, he expects much of his children, and she has a brother as well, but they both leave. She goes to Divergent, he goes to Erudite, and wants to learn stuff. And it's like...
Dauntless. You said Divergent.
Oh, I mean, she goes to Divergent. No, but she goes to Dauntless, and then everyone's dressed in black, which doesn't make a lot of... That's like the worst thing that a warrior could wear.
Right?
You gotta wear something else. I mean,
you gotta wear bright, intimidating colors.
Yeah, but so essentially it's sort of like an initiation. Everyone has some form of initiation, specifically Dauntless, because they're warriors, bravery and such. They gotta climb this big, like, train track thing where it goes up into scaffolding or whatever, and they gotta get in the train, and then you meet this one chick that's kind of annoying. What's her name? Christina. Like, I found that her character was kind of annoying. Yeah, she was like, just like her lines were so antagonistic in a way. It's like, oh, I'm so cool, I deserve to be here. It's just like they were trying too hard to make her one of those like sassy characters. It's like, and that's the thing. If you can't do a sassy character that's actually sassy, it just comes off as like you're trying. But the point is, they get there, they have to jump down this pit, another initiation, and jump down there, and then they get into Dauntless, and they have to go into training. And in training, if you get a certain score on your training, there's like fighting skills, strength, and then mental strength. If you get kicked, you'll get kicked out if you don't get a high enough score.
You become an outcast. You become a social outcast. You don't have a faction, and everybody hates you and thinks that you're worthless in life.
And then we meet Edward. Edward. We meet Edward.
We're just going to say Edward.
We're going to say Edward. His name is Four, but he's Edward.
No, his real name's Tobias.
Yeah, you're right. His nickname is Four, because you choose your name. In the books, you choose your name.
Yeah.
Point is, they go through all of this training stuff. She makes a few friends, and she meets Peter, this jerk guy who just doesn't care about anybody. He just wants to get better stuff. But since she's a Divergent,
the thing is that like I felt like Peter was a very essential part to these books.
Yes, because he was like.
Well, there's this one point in the book where he takes out a guy's eye with a butter knife.
Oh yes,
you know? But they never mentioned that in the movie.
They actually took that. They actually took that out.
Yeah,
they had filmed it, and the guy who was actually stabbed in the eye was actually upset about it.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, I was in that shot. I wanted to do it." I think.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a really essential part to pointing out that Peter is a bad person, he's a psychopath.
Dude. Yeah,
you know?
And he comes along with him like the entire time.
Yeah,
and that's the whole. Anyway, point is. So they just gotta train, basically. They have training videos. Triss gets a little bit better. She gets stronger, more, confident, I guess you could say.
And then Theo James is creepy to her.
He's like, he does this whole thing. He's like, yeah, your side's really strong right there. Punch higher. Or something. He acts creepy just like Edward does. He is Edward. This is like a futuristic sci-fi Twilight. This is what Divergent is. It's just told in a lot less movies.
With like ideas stolen from Hunger Games.
Oh my goodness.
But then like
the book,
the character archetypes are just the thing about the characters is that they are taken from archetypes.
Yeah.
That we've seen so many times.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's not that it's a bad looking movie. It's not that it's necessarily it's not just a bad written movie, but it's also just like a boring movie, just because of all these characters that we're like, okay, we know exactly how this is going to go.
Yeah, exactly. And then basically she meets up with a few friends. They're all tough and hardy. There's a tattoo parlor.
My favorite.
Which was kind of weird. It's like, okay, you have a tattoo parlor. Okay, you got that's it. That's their main attraction. They have a tattoo parlor and a place where they eat food. That's their main attraction.
That's true. And the rest is like concrete walls. And hey, we have a giant hole that you have to hang over. But the thing is that like in the book as well, I know I reference the book a lot.
It's what you got. It's where it comes from. It's where the source material is. Yeah.
But I felt like in the book, right?
Yeah.
There's this one part where like Four is punishing Christina for having done something. I can't remember what it was. And so he makes her hang over the bottomless pit.
Oh, that was Eric.
Oh, that was Eric.
That was Eric. Oh, that's what Eric did, yeah.
Eric, whatever his name is, some guy.
Oh, I remember this was so stupid.
Yeah.
She was like hanging there for like 5 seconds, like, I can't do it!
Yeah, exactly. And then she like hangs there for 5 seconds, right? Okay, you're good.
I really hope you learned your lesson there.
In the book, it mentioned that she hung there for a couple minutes. Like, this was an endurance test. This was something that was supposed to be painful.
This is supposed to just show Dauntless is like this hardcore place. Dauntless is a place, yeah, you might want to go there, but you might not always make it.
It's true, yeah.
They wimped out on a lot of stuff. It's like, okay, hang there for 5 seconds, you succeed.
Pretty much.
Why did she even get punished anyway? I kind of forgot. She did something wrong.
I don't think we're supposed to care.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Like,
I know she did
something. That's the thing, though. Like, it wasn't impactful.
Oh no, she gave up. Oh, she surrendered in a fight. She's like, okay, I'm good. Let's just don't kill me.
Oh,
not right now. But the point is, then one of her friends is basically jealous because he's gonna get kicked off. He's afraid. He's more of the guy that should have probably went to Amity because he's more of a sensitive guy. But so then he gets kind of afraid that he's gonna get kicked off because being factionless, it's a no-no. If you're factionless, that's like the guy.
That's like being a
Republican. Who plays World. Well, apparently, if you be factionless, it's bad. Everyone doesn't want to be factionless. It's like the guy who stays home all day. He drinks beer and plays World at Warcraft. Like he plays it all day. Like it's not even just okay. You're into the game and you play it for like an hour and stuff. It's like okay, this is a cool game. I'll play it. You're the guy that plays it as a job. If you're factionless, that's sort of what you become.
Yeah, like if you were to compare it to today's society, that's kind of like the opinion that people like. If that would be the approach and opinion that people would have in this society to those. You know what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and the problem I had with
English,
more or less. Yeah. And the problem I had with the movie and the book is the book at least explained a little bit more about philosophics of the whole premise. You know, it at least had a little bit like you could tell there was something going on in the mindset of the people. This one is like. Okay, we have teams and we play paintball a lot and stuff like. And this is the movie, And we're not going to talk about the paintball thing because it's not important.
It's not important.
It's not important. Essentially, it is important in the fact that she gets to stay because she was about to get kicked off. She wasn't even going to be able to go to the mental strength part because she was so bad at fighting.
Yeah.
Point is, anyway, now we get to the mental strength point. This is where you get to figure out, okay, she's really a Divergent. She gets to control her mind. She is in control of her mind. 4 is the Divergent, right, too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently you can't be a Divergent. It's bad to be a Divergent. Mostly, and we also...
It's like being from the Whig Party. Nobody hears of you, and...
Yeah. And plus, no one wants you because they threaten Candor's... No. Erudite?
Erudite,
They threaten Erudite's hold and everything, because they're the smart guys, they're intelligent, they're crafty, and it's the president, what's her face?
I'm just going to say Jay, because that's the only part I remember.
Okay, President...
Janine.
Yeah, Janine. President Janine. She's not president, she's more of a political leader as far as her little places go. She's the leader of Erudite, but she has control in the government, and she does stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's like...
She basically wants to gain control of everybody. And then she's got these secret plans to control people.
And then she's evil, and then Triss finds out, and then they have this epic battle at the end. Her mom dies, her dad dies, and then they go and shut down the leader, which is entirely inaccurate to the book.
Weird.
Which was really weird.
The way they did it, I wasn't even thinking about the book. I had read the book before. I was like, okay, I'm going to go see this movie. I might as well read the book, right? I might as well read the book. So and then I was like, the book at least did in a way that wasn't totally stupid. There's this whole dramatic climax at that point. I'm like, oh, this wasn't right.
Yeah, like, we were actually in the same theater.
We went to the same movie. We jumped into the back of a moving car just to celebrate our dauntlessness. That was real dauntless. That wasn't the book.
Point is, we were both in the same movie theater. We saw the same crap, and like, we came out, like, of course, naturally, we're like, oh yeah, the movie was really cool, and then I think your mom asked us, like, so what did you guys like about the movie? And we couldn't think of a
real
thing.
reason.
And we actually wrote down things that were like, okay, this is.
I wish we still had that list.
I think I might have it somewhere.
Might as well point out a couple of those pointers so we can it's around there somewhere. Because I saw you writing in the theater. You were like, "Oh yeah, false. It is unacceptable." Oh yeah, you're right.
So there's like the part where the Candor girl dies at the beginning of the book.
That was
just trying to get on that was important, like to show you how ruthless.
Yes,
Dauntless was. And
there's a few things you just left out, and
I point out like the hairstyle that they made was not a fishtail braid.
These are just minor things, but it's the details that really make the movie good.
And then another thing was like the knife that they all used at the reaping. It was clean. It was clean. Nobody cleaned it. It was just clean. And Triss picked it up. It's like, oh, clean knife. There's no Uriah, who was my favorite character in the book. About this one.
Well, Triss's mom came into the to talk to her on visiting hours because they had visiting hours. People could visit each other, and they actually said that I think in the movie, just like a brief, like, visiting hours over there if you want to see your family. But the point is, and then it had to be all secret in the movie. They're like, her mom came to the docking base. It's like, ooh, you gotta be careful. Erudite's doing something. I'm gonna shout. I'm gonna sing. But and then there's just a bunch of random things, and then all of a sudden her mom is Divergent, which we talked about that at the start of the video. It's like, she just automatically is like, hey, I'm Divergent too. It's like, seriously, if Divergents are so threatened, and there's even if you basically can hide the results of your aptitude test, which is what they call it in the movie, even if you can hide the results, which you can't actually.
Yeah.
That one chick in the that was doing Triss's, she was nice. She's like,
I'm gonna falsify your data. Whatever. That's what she said, right? She like falsified the.
Oh, that's what she did.
Test results. Yeah.
No, that's what she definitely did. But she's the only one that did it. Triss is the only one that got her results erased and whatnot. That's the only thing. In this one, it's like not everyone is going to be that nice. A lot of people are still sucking up to the government. You just can't just have these. There's a lot of divergence.
There's a lot of divergence, and there are about as many, like, in this notebook I have here, there are about as many, like, little nitpicky details.
We're not going to go into detail, because this review is already starting to get a little long.
That's ridiculous that we're rambling way too much.
Yeah, but the point is, basically, they all get out when the government tries to take control. They give them the serum. Only Divergents can resist it.
Right.
And whatnot. They give the entire warrior clan, Dauntless, the serum, because they're the warriors. They have to subdue everybody, because
They want to use them as their tools.
Yes. Erudite wants to use them as the tools to gain control over the government. They want to control. It's how it is. People want more power.
Yep.
That's just,
That's the premise of like every supervillain movie.
And then what happens? Did they steal something?
I thought they were like trying to eliminate the abnegation people so that like they can put themselves in power.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And then they steal like the hollow disc or whatever, like the disc that controls everything.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna okay, we gotta take this to study, and they go off onto a train into an uncertain future, and that waits for the next one. That just makes room for the next one.
I haven't watched. I'm not interested.
We can just say that this review sums up the entire movie. This movie was pretty bad. My rating for my status reviewing is going to be ultra fail. I have to say this is an ultra fail. I'm not going to say it's torture because at least I watched. Wait a minute. It's between ultra fail and torture. It's right in between.
It's like Christina holding on to the rails of ultra fail. It's like her feet dangling over torture.
Right there. It's so close. It's torture. Like. I haven't seen it in a movie. If we had just watched it right before this review, just to make sure that we know every little detail, which we just didn't want to do.
I don't want to watch that.
No one wants to watch that movie, man. It's just right above torture. It's ultra fail, but right above there.
And hold on, I gotta think of mine.
And for his preliminary reviewing,
this movie would be worth it if you found it unscratched in the New York sewer system, just because that's because someone else threw it away.
It's like no movie enthusiasts could probably get by like saying, okay, really, if they really studied, they were like, oh, I love the socioeconomic themes and the
dystrophy, basically.
But if we're gonna be realistic here,
it's not worth buying. It's not worth your time for watching.
If you want to know the hype about it, it's like Twilight. If you want to know the hype about it and so just figure out what everyone's talking about, then watch it. But honestly, let's just be honest with ourselves. It was not the best movie in the whole entire world.
It was hardly a movie.
It was hardly a movie. It's standards the movies go by. Need to follow.
Need to follow what?
That way.
Well, Shutter Island.
That way.
Or something like that.
So point is it sucked. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. That's what I'm saying. What was that?
It's like suit jacket.
Yeah.
Because he's an awesome guy.
Yes.
He's like, just ain't taking me to jail.
Oh yes.
And he should have.